Hello, welcome back, and thank you so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, my name is Cassidy Clements, hence the C. Clements of my YouTube channel name. And today I want to teach you guys 3 ways to become a better rider, as the title said. And that first way of becoming a better rider is to let your bike do its job. We've all paid enough money for our bikes. Let it do its work for you. Now, one of the first things you have to do is know what your bike can do. So I want to start with this clip right here. This is a trophy truck. I want you to watch as its suspension goes down and absorbs all the hits, but the body of the truck stays pretty much level. This is kind of what you should be doing when you are riding. Your legs and arms are going to absorb a lot of the hits, but you want your suspension to do the majority of the work for you. It is designed to go through its whole suspension range. So hopefully when you bought your bike, the shop helped you set up your suspension. I'm not going to go into that in this video. Also, if you're letting the bike absorb a lot of those big hits, you're working a lot less. That trophy truck driver, he is strapped in. He can't do anything to absorb those. He's so tight into that seat that he can't do anything. Now, as a mountain biker, you're not, but you still want the bike to do the majority of the work for you. A lot of letting the bike work for you is speed. Going faster through like gnarly, rocky sections sometimes actually makes it easier. When you're going a lot slower, you tend to focus on what's in front of you a lot more and those rocks, and you never quite find a flow when you're doing that. Again, if you go back to that trophy truck, if he were going slow, he'd be having to go through those whoops. Instead, he kind of floats on top of them as he's driving along. It actually makes for a lot harsher ride if you're going slower than sometimes if you're going faster. And yeah, that can be intimidating, that can be scary, but it works. And also, your bike, it can soak up a lot of the mistakes that you make. However, a lot of those mistakes end up being absorbed by you a lot more too, which is going to tire you out a lot faster because you're working harder than you need to be working. All right, and then another part of letting your bike do its job is trusting what your bike can do. And I know this one can be a little bit harder because it takes time and experience on your bike. That trophy truck driver didn't just jump in that truck the first time he ever did it and go 150 miles an hour through the desert. He took his time, he learned what to do, he learned what his truck could do, how it drifted, how it steered, how it handled bumps, and he worked his way up to 150, 200 miles an hour, however fast they're going through the desert. All right, the next one I want to teach you guys about is look where you want to go. Now, this might seem like a super basic one, but when I read it in a book or a magazine, however many years ago, it was like, oh yeah, duh. it makes sense. We kind of tend to look at things on the trail that we don't want to hit. But what you really need to do is look where you want to go. So if you're going downhill, the faster you're going, the further out in front of you need to be looking. In these clips, I'm pausing them and I'm showing I'm looking here, I'm looking here, I'm looking here. All right, this descent is narrow. Got a lot of rocks in the way. So, tire placement is important. So right up here, you're gonna have to thread through right through there. Look at those rocks, or look between those rocks. Here, take your line and look it through. And then in this clip, it's a side by side. I've got a good angle and I've got a bad angle. And you can see that good angle, you can see what's coming, you can anticipate it, you know where the turn is, you know where the rocks are, and in the other angle, you're just like, that's kind of somebody staring directly out in front of you. You can't anticipate and you don't know what's coming. Usually if you're climbing though, you can tend to look less far out because you're not going as fast, so you don't need to anticipate as much. However, if you stare at that rock when you're climbing, you're more likely to hit that rock than go through that gap. Another big thing about looking where you want to go is sometimes you're on a cliff. There's a drop off on one side or the other side. People tend to stare off down that cliff. You don't want to do that because you're going to go where you are looking. If you're going off trail, you want to look back onto the trail, and a lot of times that'll drag you back on. It's crazy, but it's true. Especially if you're just climbing and you're going a little bit slower. Just take that, oh yeah, okay, boom. Look, and you're going to go there. It's crazy how that works. The last thing that I want to teach you about becoming a better rider is ride with people that are better than you. This may be really intimidating at first, but it is one of the best things you can do for your riding. When I first moved here, I didn't have anybody to ride with, and that was okay. I rode the trails that I was comfortable with, but I kind of got to a point where I really wasn't progressing at all. And I just kind of felt like I'm just doing these same trails over and over again, and I'm not getting any better. And then luckily, by happenstance on jury duty, I met Shane from the Crashing Dad, and we became friends, and I started riding with him and a group of guys that he rides with, and I became a better rider. So if you find that right group, they won't mind waiting for you. They won't mind showing you what the best line is. They won't mind talking to you about something that you've never done before and how to go into it and the speed, or even tow you in, right? Some of these clips are these guys towing me into a big drop or something. And one of the best things they can do for you is cheer you on, right? Somebody cheering you on, helping you, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, dude! Woo!
Yeah!
Woo!
That was awesome! That's the hardest thing I've done mentally in a really, really long time. Thanks for the support, man.
You!
Now, I'm not talking about egging you on, peer pressure, anything like that, because if you find the right group, that's not what's going to happen. They're not going to try to talk you into something that you can't do or that you shouldn't do. The right group is going to say, this is how you do it. They might show you how to do it, and then if you're still not comfortable, they're totally okay with that, and you guys move on and you keep going down the trail and you're having fun. So yeah, again, it might be intimidating, but if you find that right group, you're going to become a better rider for sure. And I even just like sitting behind, I just like following Shane. He likes to find all the, the little side jumps or the side rocks to hop over. And I watch if he puts his seat down. I know, something's coming up. He knows something's coming up, so I put my seat down too. And a lot of times it's how fast are they going. You get comfortable just going down the same thing at the same speed all the time, but you go with someone else who is a better rider and they're going faster, and then you go faster with them and you're like, oh man, wow, that wasn't as bad as I thought it could be. Those are my 3 easy ways to become a better rider. Again, first you've got knowing what your bike can do, right? Trusting your bike. Looking where you want to go, not where you don't want to go. Right? If you want to go off that cliff, look off the cliff. If you want to go between those rocks, you need to look between those rocks. And then last, ride with people who are better than you. Find a group, ask around, ask bike shops, ask the people in your jury duty pool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope these 3 techniques can help you become a better rider. Comment down below. Did this video help you? Maybe what are 3 things that you would tell people to do to become a better writer? Also, if you could hit the subscribe button, that would be great. And until next time, guys, have a good one.